How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another Cyberpunk 2077 video. Now for today's video, I'm going to be going over the corporate or the Corpo Lifepath, just to sort of help those of you that haven't really decided what life path you're going to choose just yet. In this video, I'm going to give you guys a bit of a breakdown of just the Corpo lifestyle. Now I've already made two previous videos going over the nomads and the street kids, so after this video, if you guys haven't checked them out yet, you guys are still undecided, then consider checking out both of those videos as well. They might give you guys a little bit of a different perspective as to what life path will be the best choice for you. So diving a little bit into the corporate life path, the description from the Gamescom demo reads, "Few leave the corporate world with their lives. Fewer still leave with their souls intact. You've been there, you've bent the rules, exploited secrets and weaponized information. There's no such thing as a fair game, only winners and losers." So as a corpo, you're going to find yourself most at home in a boardroom after rising up the corporate ladder of the Arasaka Corporation, and as such, this often gives the benefit of being able to read people a little bit better and read between the lines when trying to do business with them. So as you start up the game as a corpo and you start up the prologue, you're going to be starting off towards the upper end of the Arasaka Corporation. You're used to living the life. Money isn't as much of an issue to you compared to some of the other life paths like a street kid or a nomad, for example. You basically get to live a life in luxury. And then at some point, you're going to be backstabbed by the corporation, you're going to be thrown out on the streets, you're going to be to the point where you barely survive. The street life is going to be all new to you, you have to learn to adapt to a city full of corruption, street kids don't like corpos, so you have that going against you, and you're going to have to learn to make a name for yourself pretty much all over again. So if you like the idea of starting up towards the top of the social ladder and then falling from grace and then having to have sort of this redemption arc, then the Corpo life path might be for you. And choosing the Corpo life path, you're going to have better connections with other corpos since you already know the ins and outs of the corporation. You know how business works. This could lead you to better deals down the road, different opportunities. Maybe you're better at haggling and this might get you some better discounts on prices on certain upgrades and certain materials that you just wouldn't have access to if you chose some of the other life paths. Having that corpo background to your character might come in real handy in the later parts of the game. When you come across all these corpos in your playthrough and they normally have a lot of money backing them and they have these high-tech gadgets, they have probably some of the best weapons and the best gear and the best cyberware. If you can make buddy-buddy with the other corpos and you can get some pretty sweet discounts on some cool cyberware or whatever it might be, based off of everything we've seen so far, it looks like a lot of the corpos and people in Night City that tend to have more money and more access to money are probably going to have some of the best gear. So instead of fighting your way to the top or spending just tons and tons of hard-earned cash fighting through the streets as a street kid or a nomad, if you choose the Corpo life path, you might get some of this stuff discounted, you might get some of it maybe even for free depending on the choices that you make. There's actually a lot of possibilities playing as the Corpo. I just find it weird that so far CD Projekt Red hasn't really showed us much gameplay when it comes to the Corpo life path. And a lot of the previous Night City Wires and stuff, we've seen a lot of gameplay for the nomads, we've seen a little bit for the street kids, but I don't remember really seeing too much gameplay of the background for being a corpo. We've seen some snippets here and there with the life path trailer and stuff, but for the most part, we've basically seen most of the prologue for the nomads, where you start off as a mechanic and you have to rebuild your vehicle and then you take off on whatever adventure. So we kind of know the prologue for the nomads. For some reason, they just haven't really showed us too much in regards to the corpos. So next, I'm going to show you guys the snippet from the life path trailer. I'm going to show you guys the section of just the corpo part, and then we'll sort of just talk about it afterwards.
I have those reports you asked for.
They were supposed to be ready yesterday.
The world's going to tear us apart when the word gets around.
The world's never going to find out.
If I go down, you're going down with me. No! I'm not fucking joking!
This isn't a request, V.
But no way you're fucked, right? You're the one who fixes other people's shit.
If you work in Arasaka counter intel, you're always fucked.
Today, they got you to zero somebody. Tomorrow, they'll get somebody else to zero you.
What's the rules, Jack? Want to be top? Gotta have some skin in the game.
Yeah, but you're not on top. Saburo Arasaka is. And you're the pendejo who keeps him there. Work for yourself, live for yourself. That's the only way.
So after watching that trailer, it really gives me some Mass Effect 2 vibes, like with the elusive man sort of sitting behind his desk. He's sort of the puppet master of everybody beneath him, and he kind of knows what's going on at all times with everything, and he's like super smart. That's just the sort of vibes I got from that, with that dude sitting behind the desk and stuff. So if you guys have played Mass Effect 2, you probably understand what I'm talking about here. And then they show this quick snippet of Adam Smasher. We've seen him pop up a number of different times in gameplay trailers and stuff. They're kind of alluding to him being like a bad guy, and you're gonna have to like hunt him down and kill him as like a boss fight or something, is basically how they've been promoting him. And he just looks really intimidating and kind of scary. I mean, he's a huge dude all decked out in cyberware. Looks like a complete killing machine. So if you choose the Corpo Lifepath, maybe you might have some different outcomes when it comes to interacting with him later on in the game. If there is a boss fight with him, maybe you have the option to maybe sway him onto your side, or maybe you can avoid him as a boss fight altogether. Just because you guys worked in the same corporation, maybe you run into him early on in the game and maybe you can do him a favor or something. Just there's like endless possibilities with this game. I'm just sort of throwing out different ideas at this point. But compared to the other two life paths, we've seen him pop up a number of different times in these trailers, but we haven't really seen like this big reoccurring boss type looking character for the nomads or the street kids yet. For some reason they keep showing us this Adam Smasher guy, so I think it might be really interesting if there are some tie-ins with him. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Are you guys going to be choosing the Corpo Lifepath? I myself am still kind of undecided. I've said multiple times now I'm probably going to check out all three of them, and when the game comes out I'll probably release a video on this channel showing off all three of the intro prologues. That way you guys can sort of get a better idea for which choice you guys want to make. But I definitely like the idea of starting up on the top and getting to see what it's like to be at the top of this like major corporation in the city. I think it's going to be really cool to start off the game living this luxurious lifestyle versus starting off as a nomad where you're kind of poor, you don't have as much money, you kind of live out in the wilderness dealing with raiders and looting and all kinds of stuff. Basically, all three life paths are completely different from one another. They're all three going to give you very unique experiences. But as always, let me know what you guys are leaning towards the most when it comes to life paths down in the comment section down below. I find it really interesting to read your guys' comments. And then, like I said earlier, if you guys want to check out the other two life path videos I've made, I will leave them linked at the end of the video. And then if you guys enjoyed it, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. That way you guys don't miss out on any future Cyberpunk 2077 videos. Follow me on Twitch at Swanee Plays Games Live, and be sure to join the channel's Discord. And that is going to do it for me, everyone. And I will talk to you all in the next video.